That's the reason why I'm doing that wide shot. Again, pretty much all by themselves out here on the 170 freeway, and they're just basically in the number 2 lane. They're keeping these normal speeds up here past Saticoy, definitely in the North Hollywood area. It doesn't look like he's taking any of the off-ramps out here, basically riding the middle of the road. And again, this pursuit just basically moving its way from the northern part of the valley into the North Hollywood area. Again, traffic very light out here this evening. It's amazingly light. The LAPD airship, that's who's the light we're seeing right there. And occasionally when he lights up that car, you can actually make out that there's other people inside that vehicle, not moving around. You don't see anything erratic, just kind of sitting there. You know, they must know that the officers are behind them. You got to wonder what that conversation is like inside that car right now. You know, maybe somebody's saying, hey, maybe we should just pull over. You know, it looks like we are starting to pull over a little bit out here. We're near Sherman Way. I don't know if we passed it yet, but it definitely looks like we're getting off the freeway. And it's going to be Victory. Victory is going to be our off-ramp out here. This is one of those very sweeping off-ramps, but again, at these kind of slow speeds, you know, not really too worried about that vehicle losing control. LAPD in pursuit, though, and you can see the number of vehicles out there. Again, when he gets onto the Victory Boulevard, officers from the LAPD North Hollywood Division definitely are aware of this pursuit. I actually saw one of the vehicles there actually at the bottom of the off-ramp. This is going to be taking the eastbound off-ramp. So, you know, if you know this area, there's a west and an east. They've been taking the eastbound one for sure. Going to make that sweeping turn right here, and it's going to put them onto the roadway. That officer that was at the bottom of the off-ramp actually got onto the freeway. I don't know what that's all about, making a slow move right there. It's our opportunity now to see if there's somebody in the front of the car. But it looks like the only person we could see right there is the driver. The passenger seat might be open. That's the freeway right there as he's passing underneath it. Again, though, slower speeds out here, not erratic driving for sure. Basically just keeping LAPD at arm's length, but this is definitely a pursuit, definitely a failure to yield. Driving very slow out here right now. You can see that vehicle, that was a green light, driving extremely slow. We're in the North Hollywood area on Victory. The Lancashire is going to be the major that's coming up right now. And again, I'm doing a little bit of a wider shot out here just so you can see the number of officers, and you can also see that people in the intersection backing up. They see this pursuit coming up to them. They were actually backing up right there, basically letting this pursuit pass. And you know, right now we could kind of see that when we got off the freeway right there, we were looking in there. Looked like that driver might be on the cell phone, might be talking to somebody right now. Unclear who he's talking to. Maybe it's a lawyer. Again, you know, this is right now is just a failure to yield. It's one of those typical ones where if he would just stop, this would just come to an end. He would be taken into custody. But right now, he's endangering the public. He's making things worse for himself. And again, LAPD is going to be in pursuit. They're not going to let this go. And we're working our way now well into the North Hollywood area. And again, eastbound Victory still as we're working our way deep into the North Hollywood area. Probably going to work our way into Burbank if we keep this direction up.
Stu, you mentioned how light the traffic was on the 170. It's awful light on Victory Drive as well here in North Hollywood. But the thing that's really unusual about this is the number of occupants. We do chases and pursuits all the time, but normally it's either a solo driver or two at the most.
Well, most definitely, and this is something that LAPD was talking about right from the get-go, is the number of occupants inside that vehicle. That is something that is concerning for the officers. And again, it's not so much of a problem, but it's just when this vehicle comes to a stop, they're going to need extra officers to help keep those people contained and not running and not fleeing. So that's one of the reasons why that they were asking for extra units at the get-go here. We're making a turn now on a very small street off of Victory, and excuse me, we're getting into a very residential neighborhood. Possibly this person is going to be working his way into an area that he might know. That seemed to be a very intentional turn here as we're working our way through this North Hollywood neighborhood. Smaller streets, but very slow speeds this evening. We did see that one intersection earlier on in the North Hollywood. where we drove through there, one officer actually stopping traffic, allowing this vehicle to drive by. And again, you can see there was somebody actually standing outside out there. Again, maybe this person was just happened to be there. But again, very slow moving out here as we're working our way through the I-freeway near Roscoe. Again, driving through these intersections out here, solid red, you can see right there. And people, there's very light traffic this evening, and you can see the people in the area actually backing up, giving the officers room as this guy just keeps on leading these officers on this very slow speed pursuit through the, oh, looks like we're going to start. It looks like we're attempting a pit maneuver right here. Really starting to move up, getting right up on this guy, giving this guy the opportunity to perhaps slow down, but he's not. There we go. There's the contact, going to spin that guy around. Nice pit maneuver right there. Basically put him right into a parking lot. There you go. Doors are open. And the people running from the vehicle, leaving it in drive. I'm going to stay with some of these people running. Again, on the sidewalks out here, the helicopter keeping the lights on this guy. That driver actually passing the passenger right there as they're running down the street out here. LAPD, you can see the cruisers. These guys know what they're doing. They're not going to run. They're going to take their cars. Look at this guy right here, still running between the vehicles. We're going to move the helicopter around to get this guy going into custody. See if we can see the other one, perhaps where the other person went. But the driver is what LAPD wants. They want that guy for sure because he's the guy that was driving that vehicle. There he is in custody right there. One of them down on the ground. Excuse us as we try to spin around. Hope they didn't get anybody motion sickness down there. But again, LAPD getting at least one of these guys in custody right now. There were people in the back of that vehicle. Didn't look like they ran. The passenger may still be outstanding, but the driver is one that they really needed to get.
Can you tell us, Stu, or show us what's going on back at the automobile itself?
Sure thing, Paul. And again, we're on Violent, and you can see right there, they had two people that ran from the vehicle is what they're telling us. The other ones that stayed in the vehicle right there. You can see there's 1, 2, and 3. There's 3 people that were in the back of that vehicle. They're all in custody.
Okay, and obviously they're going to
on Violent.
They're probably going to search the car, go into the trunk and see if there's anything inside, especially if they were throwing things outside. But it looks like a code 4, Stu. They've got all suspects in custody.
Yes, they do. And there was a great run there at the end. LAPD doing a great job taking these people into custody. And again, though, it's happening here in North Hollywood on a Vineland.
It's also a very good pit maneuver, Stu. Thank you very much.